We took it to the. I had Tanya take it to the community.
Tip.
The tip. Where is it? Did you want to keep it?
No, I just wonder. It's not there.
Okay. Where are we looking?
You guys are talking to me. We were having some cozy time with Doris. All right, so we're going to start with the story of how the two of you met. So, how did the two of you meet?
Well, funny enough, we met at a party. And not a party, a party. And it was Labor Day, right? Labor Day party. And I was stood at the back with a couple of my friends, and I saw this image coming through the door at the very end of the garden, and I thought, in this blue dress, lady with a blue dress on. And it was like, oh, I kind of like that, huh? Blonde and blue hair. And
blue hair?
blonde with a blue dress on. And made a beeline down there, and, you know, next thing we're hearing, people are saying, get a room. I'll be the bridesmaid, and stuff like that. Oh, God. We didn't make the room, but we did make the beach.
And then when did you two get married?
When did we get married, honey?
Oh, it was September the 15th. 15th.
15th.
All right. Oh, that's pretty good, eh? Second guess. September the 15th. I don't know the year. Shit, it's like 26 years ago.
1990.
1990. You know a song about that? Prince, whatever? I think so. So.
Were you there? Did you come to the wedding?
I did come to the wedding, honey, and I wore moccasins. I didn't wear any tie or nothing. And I think your father was a little bit disturbed that we got married on on top of a cliff with this person.
What do you mean with this person? Are you the person?
I'm the person. Yes. So what do you think?
I think that we're still married.
Oh yeah. It was like, I was going to bungee jump off the cliff, but I thought.
Was it a small wedding? Private little wedding?
Yeah, of course. In Laguna Beach.
On a gazebo on the top of the cliff.
Yeah, outside of what used to be the Victor Hugo Inn. It's now called Las Brisas. A little gazebo. It cost us $35 to rent it from the city.
It was cool. We had a couple of Coronas, and that was it.
And then we went and had our reception at the
Newport Inn.
The Newport Inn.
3 days we were there.
A 3-day reception?
Yeah. We had a little villa, so there were bedrooms.
We had a pool
we had a swimming pool, and we brought in
fountain
food
with
and
champagne running.
And it was.
Walt was there.
Walt
the room cleaner. He was running around with no clothes on.
Random. It was just a party, and it just kept going on and on.
Yeah, it was
for
cool.
3 days.
And 20 plus years now.
Yeah, and your dad was like adamant, I'm not paying for your friends to have a party.
Yes, he did say that.
Well, I don't blame him, really.
Well, he was kind enough to give us some money at the end.
Yeah.
So.
Were you already into antique business?
No.
Was I? No.
You were
no.
a house painter.
Yeah, I had a quality and class painting and decorating. I had a business doing that for like 10 years. And it was really, really good business. I had a fantastic following, and I did movie directors and all kinds of people in the end, from Palos Verdes all the way up to Napa Valley. And it was amazing. Yeah, it really was. So it was a bit of and we had the shop towards the end of that. So I had both businesses going at the same time. So in the end, I had to make a decision which way I was going to go. And we chose the antique side of it.
But it was funny because when we met, I had a corporate job. So I would wear suits to work, and he would wear painter's clothes, and he drove a
station wagon.
Dodge station wagon.
Aspen.
Okay. And it was paint all over it, and he would pick me up at the airport. I would be flying in from a business trip, and I'm all in a suit, and he's not.
It's called the paint passion wagon.
And then I would get in this like brown painted kind of.
Smelled nice, huh? Yeah.
So we were sort of Mutt and Jeff even then, I guess. So.
Yeah.
But you had a passion for collecting at a young age, right?
Yeah. Well, what started off with me was that I would go to London, stay with my Uncle Harry and Aunt Grace in Welwyn Garden City in Hertfordshire, which is really strange because we just did a show there in Hertfordshire. And my Uncle Harry would take me to London, Exhibition Road, to all the museums in London, you know, the Science Museum, Natural History Museum, and I really got, you know, into all the old stuff. And my cousin would come to, Andrew, and it was, you know, quite invigorating, if you like, for a young kid to go in there in the Science Museum and you can touch hands on, you can, you know, do all this stuff in there. So I guess that was my first insight into kind of old stuff. And my aunt, my aunt Chris, she had, our family goes way back, the Montague Martins, you know. My grandfather, Lancelot Montague Martin, happened to marry Ethel the maid. And he got the big hee-ho boot kicked into touch all the way to Canada. So, but my aunt Chris still had the big house with all the antique stuff in it. So I would go and be with her, and all this old stuff, which was family stuff, would be around. I think that influenced me too. You know, I would go up into her attic and look for stuff and what have you. So my first dabbling into an antique shop was this place in Bournemouth called Victorian Child Antiques. And I actually would repair old dolls, you know, the china-headed dolls, etc. And actually was on TV one time for how to fix dolls and how to do this. And I would go out looking for stuff and bring it to the shop. I was like a picker way back then when I was, you know, 18 or whatever, 19. And I guess I was a picker way back, yeah. Go pick stuff for the shop and bring it in and make money. I thought, oh, it's pretty good, but, you know. Took a lot more years to get into the antique business because I was scientific engineer and designer, and, you know, got the brain drain dragged me into America.
The brain drain.
It did, that's what they called it. And they say the brain drain. They came to England and they took all the people that knew anything and they dragged them all to America, and the brain drain.
Trained their brains?
Yeah, so they did. So, you know, you might not think so, but I'm a scientific engineer and fucking designer.
Well, I was wondering, thinking that might have been what happened, is they drained your brain?
Drain your brain, yeah. So, and I had drain pipe trousers on, and, you know, you have to have a tap on the ankle too to brain your drain, but that's how it goes, you know. So that's, what was the question?
You answered it very well.
Oh, right.
I love it.
Well, I had a museum when I was like 10 too. In my bedroom, I had a little museum. There's a big desk. It's a giant. I don't know where it is now. It'd be a great desk to have. But you lift up the desk and you would have all these things laid out with little labels and stuff, all this old stuff, you know. So I guess it was imprinted in my brain, you know, ingrained or whatever you want to call it. Insane, probably.
I've seen Sally's eyes light up when she looks at stuff too. So when did you get?
Oh. Was it really, honey? Oh.
Antiques and collectibles.
Oh, well, it probably is both now.
You better not give those cameras.
I don't know.
Your eyes light up, honey? Oh, yeah. Look.
Antique and collectible.
No, I have always been a collector. My family, they would buy things when I was young. I always had antique furniture. They would do yard sales and come home with a new chest of drawers or something. So I've always had an affection for old things.
On the island you did that?
Yeah, even before that.
Oh.
But yeah, so it's my family. It's a part of my family. It's a part of my existence. And so when I met Lawrence, it was easy because we had similar interests.
Oh, I didn't really know that. How about that?
See, I'm not telling you everything.
Oh. So what did you collect back then? What was your passion?
Well, stuff at your dogs.
Oh, still the same?
Stuff at your dogs, my first collection. Sure.
Oh, where are they?
They're in our house.
Oh.
He's like weird.
Well, I know I bought you a bunch of them.
I know. At any rate, I've always loved old stuff. And it's really amazing. Sometimes you can pick up an old plate and look at it and think, oh, it's all worn and it's not nice. But you can also put that plate in your hand and you can see how the person who owned it actually where their hand was and held it. So it's kind of, you know, there are what am I thinking now?
Spirits in the place.
Not so. There is evidence in everything that's old that somebody owned it, used it.
Well,
loved
it's
it.
like buying a mirror. How many people have looked in that mirror? What has that mirror seen? I mean, you know, God, if it's a bedroom mirror, or it's what kind of mirror, or in the living room, dining room, well, a mirror could tell 1,000 stories. I mean, you could have a reality show from a mirror could tell you.
Essence of the object.
I wonder if one day they'd be able to kind of
Describe it.
zoom in on a mirror and get all the image out of it.
And the people that used to own it.
You know, I saw yesterday, they just dug this body up of this lady that was murdered, and they think that they'd be able to see in her eyes the person that killed her.
What?
Yeah. The reflection of the person in her eyes, as she was being, you know, it would still be maybe in her eye. The last thing she saw. That's really weird, right?
And on a happier note,
Ding, 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 ding.
Unless he stabbed her in the back.
Yeah. Oh, they don't know. Yeah.
Why don't you say that? Why don't
One
you say
of
that?
the-
Unless he stabbed her in the back.
Yeah, unless he got her.
Why don't you say that, Sally? Look at him and go, what? Unless he stabbed her
He's
in
a
the back.
backstabber.
I'm not going to do that.
Using any of
I'm
that.
thinking for other stuff down the road.
No, I can't
Okay.
tell your joke. I can only tell my joke.
And you said he wanted an idea.
I know, it's a good idea that I rejected.
So, you got into the business, the antique business and collectibles business. What do you think are what are some of the questions that people ask?
Well, you want to know a bit more about the antique shop?
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, there was this local antique shop to where I worked in Northrop at the time, on the F-18 fighter planes, you know. And I'd go to this antique shop lunchtimes and in the evening, and I had like 10, 15 pieces on layaway. You can put a small deposit down and, you know, on layaway. And he said to me one night, he gave me a couple of beers, and he went, when are you gonna pay for these layaways? And I went, oh, so he goes, why don't you just buy the shop? And I went, all right. And I bought the shop. Just like that. Not like that, like that. Right? I came out and said I bought an antique shop.
He did. What? But he kept buying so much stuff that, and he'd bring it home, and I'm like, you need a shop. What are you going to do with all this? I'm going to sell it.
Well, he had all this old English stuff, and that's what it was. See, all this old English china and stuff. Me old china.
I'm your old China.
That's what you're saying. Hello, me old china. Somebody that's like a cool
That
person.
might be a good way to segue into how you guys were doing eBay before digital cameras were even around.
Yeah.
And scan photos. And,
Okay, so is that good?
Yeah, that's good. So, then the last story I want to hear is about how you became reality stars.
Oh,
You're good at that story.
excuse me.
We're not hearing very much from you, though.
I'm letting him speak.
No.
Okay.
How to become reality stars?
Yeah.
Well, it just happened like this. You know, the right place at the right time and get lucky. All right, there's that song out like, you know, we're up all night, gonna get lucky. So we got really lucky because I answered the phone. I tell all my employees, make sure you answer the phone. It could be $1,000 phone call. If you don't answer it, you don't know what was on the other end of the phone, right? So I had to pick up the phone up and go, yes. And this guy goes, we're doing a TV show, and we need somebody to do an appraisal. The appraiser guy has dropped out, and do you think you could do that? So obviously I'm not going to say no, am I? So it was a resounding yes, and like, what's going on here? So anyway, they turn up. So it's the very first episodes of Storage Wars, and we did 7 or 8 shows with Storage Wars, and I did another one, a spin-off thing, Storage Wars Unchained or Unlocked. Storage Wars Unlocked, which is up in Vegas. That was a lot of fun. And is that good? You want me to tell about that, or
Well, and then
I'll just go into? Okay.
I'll tell this part.
Go ahead.
I'll tell this part.
And then the rest is.
And then
the rest is
Come
history.
on.
History.
But if you can let me speak,
Well, I was going. I was waiting for you.
And then what happened? I got a an application on our Facebook page that said we're doing an antique game show. And I thought, well, Lawrence is fantastic. I'm going to submit him a photograph and a bio. But they needed a team. So I went ahead and volunteered myself as his teammate. And we went into Cornwall Casting in Santa Monica, and they interviewed us, and I followed up, and nothing really happened with it. Well, it was a show that had a pilot, and nothing happened after the pilot. It was just a single episode.
Yeah, the pilot went out.
So anyway, we had already established a relationship with Cornwall, and a couple of months later, they called us and said, "Come down for just a half an hour. We have another show that we'd like to talk to you about." And we went there. We met the head casting director. An hour and a half later, they said, "We're going to recommend you." And 2 weeks later, we were going to Miami for the first pilot for Baggage Battles. And there you go.
Okay, we can stop for a second.
Okay.